Hey there, it's Kim, and I'm an alcoholic. Took me long enough. Um, yeah, so I guess I've been to four meetings now, and I quite like it. And yesterday, as I listened to the speaker share his story, he's someone that, you know, started the program years ago, those 30 some odd years ago, and never looked back, meaning he never relapsed. And that's who I want to have as my sponsor and guide through this, because I don't want to do this again. And I know there's a danger of that. But anyhow, as I listened to his story about his recovery process, he used a lot of words like light and love and spirit, um, which really resonated with me. And I, didn't ask him what his spiritual beliefs were, but it felt very current and, sort of modern day, you know, God speak, I guess. And it struck me that, maybe this process, right? So since I had this awakening in 2012, and it's been this sort of amorphous spiritual awareness. It's been sort of free floating. I didn't really know where to plug into it. It struck me last night that maybe the program. I'm so resistant to dogma, but maybe the program is like how I can actually put all of what I've learned about God and God as I came to believe it. Oh no, AA speak. Um, can be experienced. I can experience through the context of this program, right? I'm going to learn a lot about myself. And I can see how one day at a time is absolutely a thing, because, I kind of get out ahead of myself and start saying, well, I'll do this for a couple of years and, whatever. Tonight I just know that I'm going to go to a meeting. I'm going to do the 90 meetings in 90 days, and I'm just going to do actually what they suggest. It seems to work. So I'm going to do it. And we'll see where that takes me. But, there's so many things that are said in the rooms, right, that really hit home. And one of them is, I want what they have. Like all these people, they might look a little rugged. Some of the guys last night, it was a real blue collar kind of meeting. And these guys looked like they'd been ridden hard and put away wet. I kind of course, look like that too. My Botox is wearing off. Shh, the secret's out. So the other thing that struck me, hold on, I'm losing the thought process, which is part of the syndrome, by the way, post-acute withdrawal syndrome. I'm learning so much. Well, now I can't remember. Anyway, this was the thing. I'm reading the big book and listening to people's stories, and everybody's got these, stories of like, I'm just like, how do they live through it, and I just don't have those stories. It's weird. My shut off valve is different than most of the people I've heard speaking, which doesn't mean that this is not common. I'm just saying I haven't heard it yet. But my shut off valve, like, generally, yes, there were times when I, blacked out, but I would say 5 times in 40 years, that's not a lot. Some brownouts for sure. But that, especially in the later years, I definitely had a off valve when it came to, each sitting, right? Like 4 glasses would generally be enough, or basically a bottle of wine. And I wouldn't be crashing around and doing stupid things and texting people and getting in arguments. And I have driven drunk, so I'm not going to say that. But I've just never had any real social negative consequences. my consequences are much more subtle, like, lack of intimacy in relationships, not just male, female, but just, real relationships. Um, uh, no real enthusiasm for anything unless I was drinking. That's a biochemical piece, I assume. Um, a life that just evolved around whatever the next, party was, next situation, next event where there would be drinking. So I guess you'd call that a high bottom or something. Yeah, I don't feel like I've quote unquote bottomed out, and I'm not going to bottom out. I've met my bottom. My body is telling me I've met my bottom. And really, I'm learning so much about the power of the mind, and how important it is to be able to use our minds as creation machines. And it's really, really difficult to do in this state of post-acute withdrawal, because you can't get your head above water to feel good enough to like have a positive thought. I mean, I've tried it. Trust me, in the last month I've tried it, and it's just been barely able to hang on sometimes. Although it does seem to be getting a little bit better. I'm also meeting my emotions with loving arms, like when stuff comes up, like regret and the dreaded shame. That's a part of me. And to push it down and to ignore it, try to avoid it, and just to not be an acceptance of it is not a loving act. And this is all about love, self-love. So just accepting and acknowledging and giving my presence to those feelings, really uncomfortable feelings, disappointment, sadness. What did I miss? Who did I hurt? All those things. Just sitting with them and, accepting, not judging, because loving is the thing. Loving myself is the thing, and loving is accepting. Accepting is loving. Anyway, I'm watching all these videos of other people on their alcohol journeys, and a lot of them are doing the same thing I am, which is just rambling, so it may not be all that interesting. I'm really just doing this for myself. So here's the upshot. Today is Saturday. Tomorrow afternoon I leave. I'm going to drive down to Los Gatos. Hold on, I gotta try to do this without exposing myself. And I'm actually going to take, I'm going to be doing a treatment, a 10-day treatment. It's something called NAD plus and amino acid therapy. And it's 10 days of intravenous treatment. The NAD plus, if you just Googled NAD plus and, addiction withdrawal, you'd get the information that you wanted from it. But essentially, it's creating more energy and rewiring the brain that could take 6 months, 2 years, nobody knows. Since I've been really drinking, I've lied. It's 40 years I've been drinking. 40 years. I'm sure I had drinks when I was 16. I'm sure I overdrank when I was 16. And I'll be 56 next week. I could tough it out, but that really increases, especially with the amino acid therapy, right? You're getting the serotonin, the dopamine, the GABA, and there's some other stuff in there too. But those are the things that elevate your moods, not elevate as in getting high, but just make you feel like a normal person. That allows you to more rigorously and more committedly engage in the process of recovery. Because if you don't feel good for months and months and months and months and months on end, what are the chances that you're not gonna reach for something that you know makes you feel better when your brain is telling you, oh, just do it, that's okay. And especially for me, since most people don't see me as a problem drinker, so I could do it and get away with it. Well, it's not like anybody but my husband is watching, and now all of you people, all 2 or 3 of you people. So that's my deal, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to be, hooked up to a IV for 8 hours a day, so I'm sure I'll do another video. But I'm not going in expecting for it to be a miracle or a panacea. I just know that I'm giving my body and my brain something that it needs, something that's been depleted by years of abuse, really. I've been abusing my body. But now I'm loving my body, and we're going to give it all the care it needs to heal, and that includes loving myself, even though I put myself through this. All right, that's it for now. Bye, Felicia.